Now, Rachel, I haven't heard much said about the commercial surrogacy portion of the bill. Indeed, the topic of surrogacy rarely makes it to the press, if at all, in New South Wales. It is legal in all states, as far as I know, and seems to cost anywhere from $15,000 to $100,000 per child. But your petition describes a situation where the bans on commercial surrogacy, which is different to private surrogacy, will be lifted, and this will, in your view, encourage the commodification of vulnerable women and the wombs for rent idea and having children as basically products. Can you explain what your fears are in relation to this particular aspect of the bill?
Okay, so myself, other women's rights advocates, children's advocates, human rights defenders have concerns around surrogacy more broadly, but speaking particularly about commercial surrogacy and particularly about overseas commercial surrogacy, which is what this particular bill will legalise, there are several concerns. So firstly, this bill is seeking to circumvent the federal parliament's Australia-wide ban on commercial surrogacy, which it implemented for a very good reason, and that was because it couldn't ensure that there wouldn't be exploitation of women and children within surrogacy arrangements. Several states actually allow people to go overseas to engage in surrogacy arrangements. New South Wales is not one of those states, and Alex Greenwich is trying to make it so that it is. And so what I'm particularly concerned about with the overseas commercial surrogacy aspect is that it will allow New South Wales residents to go overseas, particularly to poor and disadvantaged countries, and to hire the wombs of women over there and to buy children basically from those women. You know, surrogacy, commercial surrogacy is not something that rich women tend to engage with. It's women who are, struggling to feed their families, come from backgrounds of disadvantage, exploitation, and so on. And so I'm particularly concerned about the exploitation of women in those countries. And I think, there have been so many stories, like even over the past sort of 6 to 12 months, places like Greece, like Ukraine, where it has been shown that exploitation of surrogates is taking place. And there were several stories last year where, Australians had been going to these clinics and it had been shown that actually there was trafficking going on. There was exploitation of the surrogates who were in the clinics and all of that. So I think to encourage that kind of practice, knowing that these things are happening, I just think is really, really shameful.